Hello, I'm Draco Skura. Welcome to the show. We have a whole new one going on. But first, I'm going to point out something. In the gallery, in Sam's, I missed two. I looked up how to get them. I don't want them. I really don't. I don't. Because I don't want to cry. But if I do them, you guys will see. But I don't have the heart for it right now. So we're going to, because my heart can only take only the fluffiest of bunnies. We're doing Matthew's route. He's next, and it's going to be a whole lot of squealing and geeking out because he is the adorable little butterbean. And I can't not. Okay? So, let's do this.
Hold on there! Before you start the game, I need to ask you a few things. Don't want you getting lost now.
Okay, so Sam's route was a little broken because the first episode went kerplop because that was like the first true Let's Play ever recorded, and it broke. It did not go well. So, you did not meet this lady, but her name is Kay. She's cute.
First of all, have you read the first story, Seduce Me the HUZZAH? Like, seriously read it. No skimming, no pretending to read it. No. It's okay if you haven't, but there are a lot of things in this game that you won't understand unless you fully experienced and understood that story first.
Alright, so I personally have, and if you have not played it, I'm fully suggesting you to go play it. It is a free game. This one is a cheap $10 little game, but that one is a free game. Alright? So, by all means, if you are watching these, and if you have not played the first one, go play it. It is phenomenal. This one's much better, but that one's awesome.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Next question.
My lizard's staring at me.
You do know this is Matthew's route, right? You know, that cute fourth son? The one who made Simon Tabby, the creepy doll?
I love Simon Tabby. He looks like an evil squirrel. I hope you see him again in this one. I hope Simon Tabby's like your son. Yeah, I know Simon Tabby.
Awesome! Alright then. Matthew's such a cutie, isn't he? I mean, not like he's a kid or anything.
He's not the youngest, but holy shit, he's not the youngest. He's the fourth son. Damien's the youngest. He doesn't act it.
Anyway, I have one last question for you. Some people like hearing the trigger warnings before they start games, while others don't really care and just want to play. It's cool either way, but do you want to know about some of the content listed in the game?
I'm going to say yes. I've already done this because I was curious, but once again, Sam's is really messed up. The first one did not work, the first episode. And I saw some messed up things in Sam's, but it could have been worse. I'm scared of the others. I'm scared of the really bad one. I'm terrified of Damien's. Hey, my lizard baby, you should go to bed. It's 1 a.m. Why are you scuttling around? But we're gonna say sure thanks, and you guys take a listen.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Well, this game is recommended for players ages 18 and up. Trigger warnings include suicide, war, torture, mentions of rape, and a large amount of violence and sexual content.
I love the fact that she says this with the biggest fucking grin on her face.
Don't worry though. Any sex scene choice you encounter is completely up to you. You can play this game without needing to go through the sex scenes and still get the good endings. Consent is important. I think that should be everything. All right. Phew, that took a while.
A whole 5 minutes.
You forgot something.
Huh? What did I forget?
Hi, Diana.
You forgot about the disclaimer.
Oh, crap! Oh, how could I have forgotten about that?
It's fine, I'll take care of it. This game was produced by Michaela Laws using the Ren'Py visual novel engine. We truly hope you enjoy this story.
By the way, I have been thinking to myself and debating if I should make a visual novel thing like this, but with dragons, and I really, really want to do it. I have way too many dragon characters I could put in there. So I want to do it so bad. well. Let's do it. Not
Thanks,
that.
Diana. Now, don't you have a war to go fight?
Oh, the salmon.
I do. I just wanted to make sure everything was in order before the story began. I'll take my leave now.
Thanks, Di.
Do not call me Di.
From now on, you are Die. You are Die.
Anyway, we really do hope you like the story. Have fun. See you at the end.
Alrighty.
This has gone on for long enough! I will not let them trap me in a corner like this!
I adore the fact that the Demon Lord is like the edgelord. Like, his voice sounds like such an edgelord.
Azira!
Husband.
Husband.
You're still here. Why have you not left like the others?
The other wives?
What do you want?
Do you honor our marriage?
I don't know. Did you honor our bond when you slept with that whore?
Oh, Damien's mom.
Said, do you honor our marriage?
No.
I do honor it, unlike you.
I wish my lizard would go to sleep instead of scuttle around.
Then you still stand by our bond?
Why are you asking me these questions?
I'm actually kind of curious of that myself.
Because I need your energy.
Oh.
What? What do you?
I'm giving you your physical form back. You should be thankful.
Oh.
What? What are you?
Wait, is this is this Matthew's mom? Please no, she's adorable. Oh. I could only stare at what was in front of me. I could hardly believe it was real, but there it was, right before my eyes. How had my life even gotten to this point? As I gripped the pen in my hand, I let my mind settle into the situation. My fingers gently slid over the pen's surface. Nervous and softly shaking, this was happening.
Hey, is everything okay?
The fuck is happening? Hi, Matthew. So, from what I can tell... Okay, so if you haven't played the first game, the Demon Lord is married to 4 different women and then did things with a 5th woman, and that's Damien's mom. The 4 different women are the other 4 brothers' mothers. And he turned them into these little orbs because they kept fighting each other out of pure jealousy. So he turned them into orbs so that they couldn't hurt each other and tear each other apart. And apparently he just gave, I think, Matthew's mom her body back so that he could chicka wow wow and against her will apparently and get her energy. Oh goody, this is a good start. Great start, wonderful. I glanced up to see Matthew looking at me with worry. I could only shake my head and smile before finally signing my name on the paper in front of me. Oh, well, we all know my name. Yeah, Draco, always. Oh, my caps lock's on. Whoopsie. Draco. Yay! Look, my own name made me somewhat giddy, especially since it was next to Matthew's. So, what do you think? Matthew looked over and gently rotated the paper on the table to look at what I had written.
Thank you for coming to our wedding.
You're adorable. You little budgie. What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just really cool to see our names together.
That's adorable. Why are you so adorable with a skull on your shirt? That's amazing. I felt a blush run across my cheeks. Was he thinking the same thing I was? Looking at our names together made me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. I think my lizard finally... Yeah, she's gone to bed. She's on her little tree. Looking at Matthew, he was grinning ear to ear, which made me do the same. His smile was practically infectious.
Anyways, we are very happy you could all attend. It means so much to us that you support our step forward, and we hope you enjoy the reception. That sounds good, right?
Yeah, sounds good. Wedding preparations were nothing like I expected. I had organized parties before, but my own wedding had become a new foreign adventure for me to figure out with Matthew. Invitations, budgets, the dress, the ceremony venue, the reception hall. It was all crazy. Still, I was glad to know that I was able to do this, to be with Matthew. He seemed as excited about this as I was. There was something missing, however. Hey, Matthew?
Huh? What is it?
Do you think your mom would approve of this? The curiosity of the idea had been eating at me ever since he proposed to me. I knew he wasn't a fan of his father, but his mother was a different story. According to him, she had always been supportive of him right up to until he left. Matthew rubbed his head, staring at the table, and thought, by the way, I hate Eric's mom, and you might find that out in his pathway.
Well, I don't know. I think she'd be surprised I'm marrying a human. But I think she'd be okay with it in the end. She is my mother, after all.
Matthew only smiled and shrugged. I knew it was a bit out of left field to ask, but I was curious. I wish his mother could be able to attend the wedding, but I knew that would never be an option. Oh. Huh? My thoughts instantly derailed as I caught a ghostly whisper that seemed to reverberate in the air. I couldn't pin down the location, but I knew that I had heard something.
Huh? What is it?
You didn't hear that?
Hear what?
I looked at Matthew in surprise. He didn't hear the whisper? It had spoken his true name. I shook my head and rubbed my temples. Maybe I was just imagining things.
Help me.
Oh, no, she's adorable. Oh, that face. Oh my gosh. That almost compares to Sam's face. There it was again. I stood up from my seat and looked around, trying to figure out where the voice was coming from. Who's there?
Whoa! Whoa! What's wrong?
I looked at Matthew. How could you not hear it? I wasn't crazy! Oh, that puppy dog face. Shit. Someone's saying your name. Matthew raised an eyebrow, unsure of what I meant. Why didn't he get it? What was so hard to understand?
But I don't hear anything.
I know I'm not making sense. Okay, but someone keeps saying your real name.
My real name? Zakeru?
It's adorable. Yeah, she keeps saying it and helping me. Matthew slowly rose from his seat, looking down at the table in confusion and worry. I could tell he believed me, but wasn't sure how to respond. Are you sure you couldn't hear it?
I'm sure.
That is weird, actually. Why do I hear it? Matthew looked up at me. Matthew looked up at me and walked around the table to stand next to me, and I turned my body to face him. He looked into my eyes and gently brought his hands to my cheeks.
Does she sound like anyone we know?
No. Well, you know her, but I don't know her, so I can't tell you that. I'm sorry. It might be her, I don't know. I stared as Matthew continued to look into my eyes. What was he looking for? Eventually, Matthew leaned in and placed a soft kiss on my forehead. What?
I'll look into it, okay? For right now, don't worry about it and ignore it. It might be an illusion or something. This place is so full of magic, so it could be that.
Aw. I could tell Matthew was worried. He wasn't making sense. However, I knew that we had a lot on our minds and this was something that needed to wait. Maybe he just wanted me to not worry. Still, I couldn't help but be worried about it. Matthew gently released me and gave me one of his little goofy smiles.
Alright, well, I think that's enough work for today. Let's save the rest for tomorrow, okay?
I nodded. Today had been pretty stressful, so rest would definitely be good. Matthew led me back to my room and got ready for bed. I, however, watched as Matthew absently ruffled his hair. Despite his kid-like demeanor, he was still a man and he was the one I was going to marry. What was even better about our love was that we both loved every part of each other. I couldn't stop gushing over his eyes, which are fucking beautiful. His fluffy hair, his kisses. He drove me crazy as he made me smile every single day I spent with him. Aw. It didn't help that he was also sexy underneath the baggy clothes he wore. No one was privileged enough to see him bare, and I was the lucky woman given that permission. A simple ruffle of his hair was enough to catch my attention, and I stared at him. I really loved him. A small fire burned in my core, letting me know of my sexual attraction to him, but I wasn't sure whether or not to go with my gut or just sleep. Oh, dear, oh dear. Well, here you go. Okay, so, once again, Sam's fucked up in the first episode, and you didn't get to see the first scene, where the flashing numbers, flash, 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 flash. But, once again, if you don't want to see this part of the story, whatever, flashing numbers, go click on it, and enjoy your very, very good, non-awkward life. And you don't get to watch me die. I might not die. I've gotten a lot more used to this stuff, so it should be just a normal read. Let's go! Tiiime! Music. Look at the face! Looking up and down his body, I really couldn't help but let my libido take control. I let out a soft moan, loud enough for Matthew to hear. He froze, turning to me with a blush across his face. Okay, so he was just standing there, minding his own business, and suddenly, you moan. Yeah, that's... I'm sorry, I'm imagining it. Like him just, like, standing minding his own business, and suddenly you hear, and he turns around, like, blushing to, I am tired. Oh, jeez.
Huh?
He's adorable. Matthew. I was nervous, but I decided to tease him. I would have to go all the way. I slowly began to strip off my clothes, revealing my underwear and bra. Goody. Matthew's eyes darkened with a lustful gaze as I gently ran my fingers over my stomach and between my breasts. That's a lustful gaze, alright. That very... totally lustful. I did a lot of work today, but I don't want to sleep just yet. I gently leaned forward and climbed onto the bed on my hands and knees, letting him enjoy the sight of my cleavage. Matthew turned to watch me slowly, but not taking his eyes away from me as I crawled forward to his side of the bed. I licked my lips, happy to know that my teasing was working. I finally stopped moving forward and got up on my knees, leaning back a bit and stretching my arms behind my head. Why not make the night a bit better with me? I almost could recognize my own voice. I'm still recognizing it. I went along with it. He wasn't the only one in the relationship that could set the mood, even though he was the incubus. Sexy Durga noises. As Matthew stared, I felt a soft heat envelop my core and rush through my body, another moan coming out of my mouth. I looked in Matthew's eyes, seeing them glow a loving but lust-filled gold. It slowly faded as the enthrallment he cast on me ran through my body, making me hot. Oh, look at him. Look at the little smirk. Oh, it's adorable. Matthew slowly began to strip off his jacket and shirt, letting me enjoy the show. Ha ha ha! Funny. Before he licked his lips. He knew exactly how to respond to my teasings, and despite it not being fair, he used his inhuman charms to make my mind melt at the sight of him. As he pulled his shirt off his body and held it out to the side, letting me get a good look at his chest, I felt myself lick my own lips at the sight.
Let me make it better.
Oh, no, that was cute as fuck. Oh, he's trying. It's cute. That was all he needed to say before coming over to me, crawling over my body, capturing my lips with his in a heated kiss. His arms wrapped around my waist as his other hand gently slid down my back and gently held my rear. Alright, so I'm gonna... This music is hilarious. I'm gonna say this real quick. Whenever I... First of all, I want to turn this music down, actually. Preferences. When I was playing the first game, alright, I think there's only 2 scenes that you could do with the boys for each one. And, Matthew, his second one legit caught me off guard. And doing the do wasn't really doing the do. There's one makeout and then one doing the do, from what I remember. And Matthew's was hilarious in the second one because... It's not in the second one. The second one with Matthew was hilarious because you guys lost the demon plushie that was cackling and laughing in the darkness of the kitchen, and Matthew accidentally fell on you, and he accidentally fell on you, and he was like trying hard to hold back, and he said, "You have to push me off."
Sorry. I need you to... I need you to push me off.
And that caught me off guard, and that got me more than anything. I don't understand why, but it did. But most of the time, Matthew, he can try all he wants. His flirting, it just makes me laugh, and it's adorable to me. I let my legs move out from underneath me so that he could kneel between them, gently grinding my knee against his. He smirked against my lips as he gave a playful, slow grind of his hips against my core. My mind went crazy at the teasing foreplay. He pulled me against his body, squeezing me with his arm around my waist before deepening the kiss between us. I let a moan escape my throat and became lost in his mouth as he claimed my lips for himself. I loved feeling him touch me. I don't know why that sentence made me laugh. And hold me to him. He was the man I loved, and I wanted to give him everything. As he gave me just as much and more. Our sex became just another way to express our desire and love for each other. Soon enough, we were both panting and moaning hotly as we made deep and passionate love. Our clothes were strewn around the room, but our focus was in each other's eyes. Oh. His moans echoed mine as he kissed and nipped over my neck and shoulders. However, he'd always come back to stare into my eyes and kiss me deeply as he made love to me, as I made love to him. I loved him and wanted to be held by him and be full of him forever. Okay. My heart belonged to him, and he was a dream come true for me. To feel his love for me was a blissful treasure I would cherish and experience for the rest of my life. He always knew how to find my sweetest spots and knew the way to make me fucking scream his name. He rose higher in our pleasure and ecstasy until we both ran over our limits and ever so gently floated back into the loving feelings of our embrace. Matthew could only pant and hold me in his arms, sweetly petting my hair and kissing over my forehead.
I love you so much.
Daw. I love you too. My heart fluttered at the sound of his voice. He was my everything, and to feel him in my arms made me happy beyond compare. I happily embraced the darkness of sleep as Matthew continued to hold me in his arms. Alright, we're done with the sex scene thing. If you didn't watch it, I laughed a little too hard. Because Matthews is the easiest to make fun of. If you did watch it, well, you already know what the fuck happened, so why are you listening to me now? The darkness was meant to be peaceful. Sleep was meant to be relaxing. However, my mind began to wander to what had happened earlier that evening. Hearing that voice made me worried. Something was off. Something was going on, and I was the only one who could sense it. Why, though? I let darkness seep into my mind a little longer, unsure of what to think of it. Chains. What the? Huh? Opened my eyes and found myself no longer in my bed, but on a stone-cold floor, staring at a high marble ceiling. Despite feeling foreign textures beneath my skin, I vaguely knew where I was. I was in the main hall of the Demon Lord's castle. I remember the sight from the vision the boys gave me when Tiiime first appeared. Why was I here, though? Where? My instincts forced me to turn to the sound, and I saw someone I did not expect. Diana? What? Held in the air was Diana, hanging from 4 long lines of chains that were attached to her wrists and ankles. She was spread out like a star, and the chains were pulling her body in different directions, seemingly ready to rip her in half. My mind couldn't fathom why she was in this illusion. If this was one, she looked so different. But I could tell it was her. Why was she in chains, though?
Release me!
Is that Diana?
Oh, I will.
Matthew?! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, no. What is this bullshit? Oh, he still has the blushies, though. Oh, that's an evil face. Matthew's voice reverberated with a cold, demonic resonance, and it drew my eyes toward him in shock. There he was, sitting on the throne, practically lounging on it. He was still in his human form, but his eyes were glowing and unnaturally gold-colored. What was even more odd was that he was smirking at Diana. I'd never seen him smirk like that, like he was enjoying seeing someone's pain.
I'll kill you once I'm bored of this game. Your struggle is just so much fun to watch.
That I can't take that seriously from Matthew. It doesn't suit.
You think this is funny, brat?
Matthew glared at the chains, pulling hard at Diana's limbs. No! I flinched from the sound of her body stretching, almost hearing the sound of bones cracking. Diana, however, sneered at Matthew and replied,
Do you really think calling me a brat is going to help you?
I'm imagining this in my head. By the way, I've been also tempted to animate this, but I'm also extremely lazy. If I ever have enough free time and I'm extremely bored, you best believe I'm animating certain scenes of this, at least. But that might take years, because I'm a busy bee.
Well, that's what you are. A brat who abuses his toys until they break.
I could only stare at the two, completely confused by what I was witnessing. I tried to speak out, but suddenly my voice disappeared before any sound could be formed in my throat. Gripping my neck, I looked down, trying to figure out why I couldn't speak. So, is this like Sam's, where you had the nightmare of him burning, and that was the bad end? Is this the bad end if I don't do it right? There's some part of vice pressed against my vocal cords, not allowing me to mutter even a single sound. Its weight made me almost choke. However, I looked back up at Matthew, as Matthew gave a sickly, evil chuckle.
That's right. I like to play with my toys until they're of no use to me. That's how toys work.
Oh, that's good voice acting. No. Oh, no, that's good voice acting. Oh my gosh, can this be my main villain's voice? Please? Please. That fit too well. Matthew stood up slowly from the throne, and his lips curled into a devilish smile as his tongue ran along his upper lip.
And when I'm done with them, I destroy them.
Oh, no, that's so cool.
What of the human? Is she just another toy?
I looked at Diana, seeing her move her head to look at me, before returning back to Matthew in realization. I was physically there. I wasn't just watching the event, I was part of it. Oh, that's adorable. Matthew looked back at me and his face shifted to an innocent smile. My heart desperately clung to the possibility that he wasn't as evil as presenting himself to be. The smile pulled at my heartstrings, giving me hope that he was just playing some sick joke.
She's not just a toy.
What? My heart dropped to my chest. Matthew tilted his head cutely, giving me a disgusting feeling of adoration and fear from the sight. Never had I imagined feeling like this while looking at the one I loved, yet here I was.
She's my favorite toy. I can't break the toy that I have the most fun with. Especially when that toy gives me so much energy.
I don't know how to feel about this. Why? Stan's route didn't make me feel this many emotions in the first fucking 30 minutes. It didn't. This is horrible. I don't like it. But I so do. This is awesome. Like a predator. Matthew began to walk towards me, passing underneath Diana's hanging form. I couldn't move as he knelt down and cupped his hand around my chin.
I'll keep you with me forever and ever.
I love this voice actor. Fear seared my nerves. I did not want to be near this man. This wasn't Matthew. Couldn't be. There's no way. As he stood up, I felt tears run down my face. If this was a nightmare, I wanted to wake up, please. Matthew's hand pointed at the throne and glided through the air back to me. The sound of chains echoed through the room, forcing me to follow it and see a chain flying at me. I tried to scream as it leapt towards my throat. From thin air, a shackled collar formed around my neck, connecting it to the chain as it reached me, and I was pulled forward roughly through the air before landing beside the throne with a painful thud. No! Oh shit! Ow! Diana screamed as a large cage suddenly formed around my body, making me its prisoner. I scrambled to my knees and gripped the bars surrounding me, now frightened beyond compare. Matthew let out a terrifying laugh, sending more waves of fright through my body. This wasn't happening.
This world is mine. No one can stand in my way anymore. Not James, not the Demon Lord, and not you, Diana.
I wanted to hear that laugh. Smirking widely, Matthew looked at Diana, raising his arm across his body. Uh-oh.
I've grown tired of you.
No! No! Before Matthew could move, my fear and anger quickly bubbled in my chest, one word pushing past the blockage in my throat. Stop! As my voice ripped through the air, everything went black. My body, however, sat up in the bed in shock from what I had seen. My scream reverberated through the room as I let it sink in that I was awake and all that had just been a nightmare. Despite it all feeling real, I was no longer in a cage. I wasn't in a room with Diana being ripped apart. I wasn't...
Ah! What?
Oh, I don't know how to feel. I shot my head to the side to see Matthew in bed with me, sitting up beside me and rubbing his head. A heavy tiredness weighed down the eyelids over his frightened eyes, but my mind suddenly began to seize in fear just from looking at him. My mind shouted that it had just been a nightmare, but my body couldn't help but remember what Matthew had done to me in the dream. It may have been fake, but I couldn't stop the fright from washing over my nerves. Tears formed my eyes as I stared at Matthew. I wanted to know that everything was fine, that I was more than just a toy for him, but my voice wouldn't let me speak without bawling. Matthew quickly rubbed his eyes and stared at me, his concern obviously deepening as seeing me in tears. He slowly raised his hands to embrace me, but I flinched away, causing him to freeze in place. Oh no, Butterbean!
Whoa, it's okay. It's alright. It's just me.
Butterbean! Matthew's voice tried to warm over my fear, but my feelings were so conflicted. Despite my brain knowing better, he continued to stare at me, waiting for me to relax. I could only meet his gaze warily, with both fear and sadness.
Hey, I'm gonna hug you, okay? That's all.
Oh, that's adorable. My heart wanted to believe him. I had to. He couldn't be as sadistic as my nightmare had depicted him. I nodded, and Matthew slowly began to wrap his arms around me, hugging me to his chest.
There we go. It's okay.
That's adorable. No! This is hurting me in so many ways, but it hurts so good. I love this game. I began to melt into Matthew's arms, finally feeling the fear disappear from my body. I pressed my face into his shoulder, shaking in remorse as the panic drained away. I'm sorry. Matthew simply rocked me in his arms and nuzzled the side of my head with his. He occasionally planted a kiss over my cheek and shoulder, reminding me of his love and that everything was okay. His breath became a tempo for me to follow, letting me relax and feel his love all around me.
Bad dream, huh?
Very! Yeah. Matthew gave me a soft squeeze, snuggling up to me, and I gratefully snuggled back. He would never hurt me. I couldn't let myself be this affected by a nightmare. Hopefully he wouldn't ask about it.
Hey, whatever the dream was, just know that everything will be alright, okay? It was just a stupid nightmare. Whenever you wake up, I'll be right here beside you, ready to make it go away.
It's adorable. The way he sounded so confident made my heart flutter my chest. He truly cared for me, and that was something I adored about him. He loved me, and I loved him in return just as much. I nodded and nuzzled his shoulder, warming into his embrace further. Matthew smiled and kissed the top of my head as I closed my eyes. He gently laid us back down onto the mattress and helped me shift to lie against him, making his chest my pillow. Thankfully, the nightmare didn't return that night. I was left with a warm embrace and a peaceful slumber until the morning rose. Even in the days that followed, the nightmare didn't come back. I'm gonna end it here, guys, okay? I'm trying to make these, 30 to 40-minute videos, because I went way too long into videos last time. I should have cut them. I just realized I could have done that. I could have cut them in the middle and said, this is the end of this one, I'm gonna split them in two. That would have saved me so much fucking time. I really should have done that. I'm a dumbass. Oh my gosh, I just thought of that. Alright. So, I'm going to try to keep these to 30 to 40 minute intervals because the very ending episode was over an hour long of Sam's route, and it took me 3 days. 1 day of editing, another day just to export it, and another day just to post it. Which is why it was a few hours late, because my computer decided, oh, it's going to take you an entire day to upload this. It won't meet its scheduled time. No. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I'm trying to get a hold on how these things are going to work. Bear with me, guys. These are the first, Let's Plays or large videos I've ever had to do. So, bear with me here. I'm working on this. Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely going to do all these. I'm going to do all the paths. I don't know if I'm going to do all the endings, because I thought I was going to do all the endings of Sam, but I don't want to, because I don't want my little heart to die. Because in the end, Sam has a special place in my fake cartoon heart. Sam is my favorite, and probably always will be. I don't know why, he just is. I love how my favorite from the first game ended up being the one with the draconic path, which made me so happy, because, holy shit, draconic path. Why is it my favorite was the dragon? I don't know. Maybe because dragons are awesome? Haha. Ego. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Anyway, I'm going to end that here. We're going to continue this. Hopefully this becomes just a fun little series I can do every Saturday. It's not going to be calm. I'm doing it anyway. It's just fun to do and it gives me something to post. Haha. That end, it's so fun. I'm gonna play it anyway. Might as well do a recording, huh? Anyway, I'm Draco Skura. You have a good day. I feel like I'm missing a line there. I hope you enjoyed the show. Duh! I'm Draco Skura. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm a dumbass. You have a good night, y'all.